Saying thanks to Ron for coming over today, my mate.
That's alright, Dave.
We're in the studio today, bad weather outside, and we give the outside broadcasting crew the day off.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron. When did you start having pigeons?
Well, pigeons have been in the family more or less all my life. When I lived in Battersea, my dad had them, my brothers had them. But for me, it was intermittent, you know. But the longest spell I had in pigeons was when I was up in New Addington.
Yeah. What sort of racing do you like? Long, short?
I like the long, really. I mean, it's nice to see the pigeons dive in from the short races and that. But to me, distance racing is the one I prefer, and I think most people do, really, don't they?
Yeah. Well, your pigeons did excel better. Well, I know you won the event short, but I mean, you did excel best on the long distance.
Well, I think that's because you go for that, don't you? You know,
yeah.
If you go for something, then that's what's in your mind. It's like when I seen Eric Cannon, and he says that he times everything to Pau, and that's why. That's his aim, isn't it? That is his aim.
Did you race Willowwood or natural?
I have messed about with Willowwood, but not on a scale that I've seen people do it on, just for larking about. But as far as the distance racing is concerned, definitely natural. I used to send the cocks and hens.
Yeah. What do you think of the Willowwood system for long distance?
Well, I've never tried it myself, but when you see fanciers like Stan Biss or Jim Biss, whatever you like to call him, at Norfolk, some of the performances he's put up, and that's all on Willowwood, and I think it's incredible. And Alf Bennett.
Yeah, Eric Matthews is another good long distance.
Yeah, well, there you are. So, I mean, it's obvious that it works, and I suppose pigeons can remain in condition a lot longer in that environment, because there's nothing really taken out of them except in the race, is it?
I think if you go through the records, I would think that probably most of the Pau National winners are hens.
Well, I think hens will keep going. I don't know, but they are, that's true. But I've always liked hens, but I'm saying that I've had some cockbirds. Lord, he was a cock pigeon, and he was well up in out of decks, first club, second, third combine, yeah, out of decks, and that wasn't the only thing he done. You know, he did. I've had cocks. Gentleman Jim, that pigeon that was fought up in Youngbird National Guernsey. He was well up in the decks. I think he took a fair result as well.
Yeah.
From decks, so they can do it.
Yeah.
But not on Willowwood. That was natural.
No.
But obviously, with Eric Cannon, not Eric Cannon, Stan Biss, and the chap who won the
Eric Matthews
and Bennett.
Yeah.
I mean, they outstanding performances on Willowwood. So there's obviously something in it.
Yeah, I was last week when we was down in Dorset. We was talking to Roy Walters, wasn't we?
Yeah, I'm very impressed with him.
And he was saying that he's all Willowwood, but he's going to have a go at the natural next year because he thinks he wastes a lot of good ends.
Yeah.
Which is a good point, really. As I say, it is a waste of ends, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, well, I like. I suppose you're near to nature, aren't you, when you're racing natural?
Yeah.
And there's so many things. As I understand it, you put the blinds down it's like full stress. Or I've done that in a basket with pigeons to try and make them.
I don't think you really enjoy your pigeons, do you? Not on Woodward. Not the pigeons themselves walking around a garden, bathing in the garden.
Well, there is that aspect to it, but I think the big thrill in pigeons is when you see them coming.
Yeah.
And I think on Willowwood they must come in like darts. I should think.
Brilliant system. What's some of your best positions you won in back in when you were racing?
Well, I'm a very lucky man, though, really.
Lucky?
He's lucky.
How many times I heard
I
this?
was fourth open Youngbird National, and when I said it was the first time I competed in the National in Youngbirds, and if I'd have got 499 to get your name on the list, I would have been thrilled to bits.
Yeah.
But when I see it came so high, and it checked itself halfway through the drop. I'll never forget that day because and I finished up fourth open, and who was it? Someone rang me up. I think Dougie Walker rang me up and said, "Oh, it looks like you might have won it." But someone came round and breath. I said, "Get out! You got to be joking!" So the thrill, I mean, of that was marvellous. Yeah. That was fourth open, and then of course that day when I had the only two birds on a day and I fed out of decks in the Croydon Fed. And that was marvellous because I'd given up then because the weather had closed in. I thought, no way they're going to keep coming. And I sat down and watched the television, but I left the lights on in the shed, and although I closed the traps in case they'd come down. And then about 9 o'clock, Mum said, "What's these two?" And it was more or less dark. And I ran out there, and I thought it might have been 2 young ones that had skedaddled in the daytime. But when I see the 2 rubber rings on both the pigeons' legs, that was it, because the clock was away and everything.
That's first and second fed dax. One of those pigeons was Lulu.
Nancy. No, Nancy was on the day, because they dropped together. And the first pigeon the next day was Lulu.
Yeah. So.
But it was first, second and third fed, 4th, 5th and 6th L&SECC Pau combine. So I mean, that to me was marvellous.
Yeah. Of course, you won the national at Pau, mate.
That was a year afterwards, yeah.
Right. Never been the same since, have you?
But I'll tell you what, it does keep you on hot bricks for a few weeks, because you don't know the real result until for a few weeks. And I remember ringing up Reece Giles. I said, you said you was going to ring back for it. It's now Friday.
Yeah.
So I said, don't worry. He said, you better go and buy yourself a bottle of champagne, you know, blah, blah, blah.
And the following year you was 4th open, first section.
Yeah, with Lulu, yeah.
I mean, because a lot of people, I know, as I said to you before, there's nothing like winning the Pau National or first. But that's a fantastic performance the following year, because she come completely against the wind, wouldn't she?
She was an hour in front. If I'd have clocked another pigeon an hour after, I would have been 2nd section. She won it by over an hour. Yeah. I do appreciate, I said very good fanciers, Tubby Tate, Hardy from Kent. Quite a few people told me that they thought it was a better performance, but to me, a winner is a winner. And to be honest with you, I mean, Mr. Bennett, didn't he do well?
No. And when she won the national, that was a day pigeon, wasn't it?
Oh, that was on a day. Oh, that was on a day. Yeah. I only sent 4 pigeons that particular way, and that's the first time I tried Pau actually. And I remember taking the 4 pigeons down to the Reading marking station, and they said to me, when the chap returns the basket, he said they was in beautiful condition. I said, thank you very much. And the three of them 4 was on the result, and I got the 4. I got the 4.
Brilliant. You was 3rd combine dax the same day, wasn't you?
That's right, with Lord Noise.
Yeah. Incredible performance, mate. Incredible. Anyway, shall we have a look at your
Nancy?
Yeah. Well, Ron, there's your pride and joy.
Yeah, this is Nancy, 17 years old now.
Yeah, first section, first Open Pau National.
Yes.
And she was also 2nd Federation.
Yeah, she dropped with a loft, mate. I timed the other one in first, not by choice, just, you know, the first one to come to hand. And she was 2nd Fed and 5th combine out of dax on the day.
Yeah, incredible performance.
530 miles, that was.
Yeah. What was her best nest conditioning, Ron?
Well, I always race them more or less in the same conditions, sitting around about 14, 15 days. That's what I find.
Yeah.
And,
what family is she?
The mother of it was bred by the good old eyesight man from North London, Jack Humphreys, and I believe that came out of a combine winner. I can't remember all the details now, but the father of it was bred by Roy Drake of Catford, and I bought the pair of them at his clearance sale actually. What are they? Delbars, Belangi Delbars, that's it, yeah.
So I think I'm right in saying, Ron, that she's the first Pau National winner we've had on the tapes.
Is it really?
In the flesh? I think so, yeah.
Well, she's 17 years old now.
One of old pigeon, mate. One of old pigeon. What did you used to feed your birds on in, Ron?
A good mixture. I used to feed my hens on a lot of barley in the winter time, but in racing and breeding, always a very good mixture.
Yeah. How about pairing up? When did you used to pair up?
Pair up first or second week in March. Really depends on the Pau National date, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah, well, you work back from Pau.
Yeah.
How many young birds used to breed each season?
Around about 40, maybe a few more.
Yeah. How far do you used to race young birds?
Depends on the young bird, really. If it's a pigeon that I know is I really fancy, 2 or 3 races would be his lot. You know, I don't care what races they are.
No, just
but if it's a pigeon that I'm not sure of, then I'd push them all the way through.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you like young birds to race the channel?
I'll race them across the channel, but I mean, let's face it, you can lose damn good pigeons as babies, even off the loft, they can be good ones.
Yeah.
I had a very good old mealy cock in Battersea that was off the loft, and it was reported over North London, and it was picked up off some scaffolding. And when I brought him back, he turned out to be a terrific pigeon, he did. Yeah. So, you know, you do lose good pigeons as babies.
How about training your old birds? You used to train from the coast?
Oh yes, I used to train from the coast quite regularly. When you know, 2 or 3 weeks before the water races start, fairly regularly on the coast, along the coast. And, yeah, I smile because I've heard so many rumours about where I've been. But no, along the coast.
Yeah. Would you all go together? Would you like singing that much?
A lot of times all together, but in the latter part of my years of racing, old Jed Jackson used to single them up for me. I should say, sorry Jed, I should say young Jed Jackson. He used to single them up for me. I used to go along the coast letting the hens go, and then I'd pop into Jed to have a little chat with him, and he'd let the cocks go when I'd gone. Yeah. And I'd probably take his young birds towards London.
Because he flew North End still.
Terrific flyer, Jed. I think he's one of my. He is my hero, really. I think he's
wonderful man. He's on the video, mate. Yeah. You used to flag your pigeons. Tell us all about flagging your pigeons. You used to flag them around the dark, didn't you?
Oh yes, but flagging around the dark come in the 1981. I'll tell you what brought that about. I used to flag my pigeons anyway. The first time I'd seen it was by a chap called Reggie Legg in Battersea, when we lived in Battersea. And he was the first man I see use a flag with good effect, and that's where I started it. And when I went to New Addington, I flagged again. But in 1980, I think it was, 1979, there was a race out of Dax with a Croydon Fed, and Johnny Lane, a very good flyer from the Bromley area, he had a very good pigeon out of Dax, but it was about 5:15 in the morning. And he won the Fed, but I thought, if you could get a pigeon to fly just a little bit more, he would have had a day pigeon, very definitely there, you know. And I think where I live, the light does tend to go a little bit too far for pigeons, around about 20 to 10, quarter to 10. They don't normally fly past that. So I thought, well, let's try to push them to fly in that twilight. And I didn't really know what I was doing. I'd have a go at it. And left the lights on in the house, so that the lights of the house was more or less, it was a fair way from the house, but the lights was on the shed, and there was lights inside. And I used to stand up on top of the loft. But at the beginning, I mean, you can flag pigeons without getting on top of the loft, but when it comes to near the darkness, then they want to come down, really. So I used to walk up and down the loft, and I tried them till it was almost dark, you know, round about the 10ish mark, and I let them come down then, and I noticed that the cocks started to drive the hens about on top. Although it was more or less dark, I thought to myself, well, that's it, I've cracked it. Now tomorrow I'll push them into the dark. And I couldn't see them, all I could hear was whoosh as they went past, you know, I couldn't see where they were. And then when I was ready, I got down, and as soon as I got down, after a couple of minutes, they must be able to see me, and down they came and all went in, like, you know.
Yeah, great method.
And then of course it did work out. It didn't serve to any advantage on the Pau National that year, because she was let go at 6 and I timed her at 6:45, I think it was. So that was a really good
day race,
you know. But with Lulu, it probably had some advantage and explained the reason why she was so far in front for the east side of the country.
When she was full folk in the following
she probably went quite on.
Flew into the dark.
It flew into the dark before she settled, you know.
Yeah, it's incredible, right?
Yeah.
This is your good hen, Lulu?
Yeah, this is Lulu, yeah.
And she was first section full folk in Pau.
That's right, yeah. She won the section by an hour. Yeah,
and she's full sister to Nancy.
Full sister to Nancy and Sole Survivor, another good pigeon I had.
Yeah, Sole Survivor is a good pigeon, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So, what other pigeons did she win, Ron?
Well, as a baby, and the reason why she's called Landing-Moors Lulu, when I took her up to the club, I sent about 25 young ones. I don't believe in old diminished yet at the beginning. And a chap who was putting them through, Alan Landemore, he picked this pigeon out. Now, I was flying Daldins at the time, and you know yourself, Keith, how lovely they look, the Daldins. But he picked this pigeon out. He said, I'd like a lot full of those. And I looked at him, I thought, well, he must know his pigeons. I know the pigeon because they are mine. And hence the name Landing-Moors Lulu, because she came out that week and was first club, 7th Croydon Fed.
What, inland?
Inland, yeah.